another sign.
Whilst we're doing tawaf, it has started to rain a little bit. We pray that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala accepts. On Tuesday evening, a powerful storm swept through the holy city of Mecca, affected one of the holiest sites in Islam, the Kaaba. Torrential rain accompanied by strong winds, thunder and lightning led to a dramatic scene in Masjid al-Haram, the holy mosque in Islam. Videos circulated on social media showed worshippers seeking shelter. A torrent of water burst through the marble flood around the Kaaba, the black cubic structure which millions of Muslims direct their prayers. The storm which lasted for several hours caused a temporary disruption in the rituals of tawaf, the 7 rounds of the Kaaba, which in the central pilgrimage practiced during both Umrah and Hajj. Despite the unfavorable conditions, many pilgrims desert in traditional white conditions continue in their perils activated despite the downpour. The intensity of the storm, however, forced the authority to take swift action. The security personnel from the Grand Mosque helped lead the worshippers to safe places. The city of Mecca, located in the desert region, is now immature the seasonal storm, but the strength and scale of particular event was unusual. Several trees were reportedly uprooted, minor structure damage occurred in surrounding areas. Fortunately, there have been no direct reports of injured and the death related to the snowstorm. The storm also cleanup efforts and expected to continue the days ahead. The Saudi authorities have long been prepared for the sudden weather events in Mecca, especially during the pilgrimage season, where the millions of believers from around the world come to the city. The day before, the Saudi General Meteorological Authority issued a warning prediction thunderstorm and advising cities to pilgrimage to be careful. Although the storm disrupted some aspects of worship, long-term consequences for religion activities are expected. The storm comes at a time and a heat spiral significant for the Muslims, as many continue for the perform Umrah in the week following the Hajj season. Despite the difficulty caused by the storm, pilgrims experienced the sense of gratitude that prevents. Speaking in local media, some believers noted though how even storm could be prevented the complicated ritual, viewing the event the reminder of the faith and resilience. Authorities were quick to emphasize the safety measures taken, including modern drainage system, helping mitigate the effect of flooding and Moscow contact. In recent years, the Saudi government has invested heavily in infrastructure to protect their cities to ensure the safety of pilgrims, especially during extreme weather events. Although storms are infrequent in the region and unpredictability of the weather make any constant, especially as climate change increases the livelihood of the unpredictable weather event. The latest storm severe as reminding of a delicate balance between the nature of spiral sense to one of the worst, most visited religion sites. For the millions of Muslims who consider Mecca the holiest site of the earth, this storm was destructive in the true and spiritual lens and the test of endurance, faith, and the common spirit to unity in the global Muslim community and devotion to the Kaaba. A severe storm hit the holy city of Mecca in Saudi Arabia, wreaked havoc and caused significant damage, including the revered Kaaba. The storm, which brought violent winds and a heavy rain, resulted in numerous casualties and extensive damage on the infrastructure. The storm occurred at a time tens of thousands of Muslim pilgrims gathered at the city to perform religious rites. The storm, which local authorities described one of the worst in the recent years, brought torrential downpour that flooded streets, caused significant disruption to the movement and both residents and visitors. The rain flooded parts of the overlapping drainage system and forced emergency service to air. A witness reported wind of extreme speed sweeping through the streets, knocking down signs and through the roads. Several buildings near the Grand Mosque, which housed the Kaaba, were damaged. Trees were uprooted and the force of the wind through the breeze and the air endangering anyone who was outside during the storm. The Kaaba, the black Kaaba structure, the center of Islamic holiest mosque, the Mosque al-Haram, in the center of Muslims worship around the world. During prayer, Muslims look at direction of millions of pilgrims visit the site every year to perform the Hajj and Umrah pilgrimage. Despite the strength of the storm, the Kaaba itself remained structurally intact. However, parts of the Grand Mosque surrounding it were damaged. Several areas in the mosque were flooded, and the parts proactive converting around the Kaaba were turned on. The marble floor, the which pilgrims performed their ritual, became slippery and dangerous, leading reports and injury as the people tried to find shelter. Videos circulated on social media show water gathered around the base of the Kaaba, the scene of the deeply moved Muslims around the world. Pilgrims continued to pray with the rain and storm despite the uproar, which some the deep respect of devotion and religious rights. The Saudi authority quickly mobilized rescue operation and emergency service after the storm. Civil defense unit along the special force assigned to the Grand Mosque were deployed to ensure the safety of pilgrims and local residents. Helicopters circled the city to assess the damage and provide air support, while ground the crew worked tirelessly to clear the nearby flooded areas. Saudi Arabia Red Crescent confirmed that the several people were injured in the storm, at least few deaths and reports of the fallen debris. Medical teams set up up makeshift clinics near the Grand Mosque to provide assistance to those injured by the incident. The city's hospitals were put on a high alert to receive by the serious injuries. As the storm subsides, Mecca is left to deal with the consequences and devastation weather. The top priority of Saudi authority to repair the damaged infrastructure, restore service to ensure the safety of the thousands of people who are still in the city. Although the storm has faced it will take time to overcome the emotional logistical challenges it has faced. After the storm, Saudi Arabia Emergency Service along the thousands of workers began investing cleanup efforts across the Mecca. Debris from the fallen structure, trees and broken streets littered the streets, especially the victims of the Grand Mosque. Totally, the team were deployed it to inside the mosque to eliminate the flooding using industrial water pumps to pump and stand water from the holy site. Saudi civil defense ensured the series of public safety announcements using residents and pilgrims to avoid low-lying area prone to flooding. They also warned against touching electrical equipment with posing to additional danger to water flooding. Despite the urgency of the situation, too, authority emphasizing the recovery efforts were being carried on with the utmost care to avoid further incident or injury. Local media posted the quick response to emergency crew, also some experiencing concerns about the long-term residents' Mecca infrastructure for extreme weather conditions caused by the climate change. One of the most urgent challenges of the Saudi authority to ensure the continuation of religious activities during the storm of aftermath. Mecca occurred in a cool place in the Muslim world, attracting millions of pilgrims throughout the year. The tawaf and circumambulation of the Kaaba in the central arc of port ships, where the pilgrims perform daily, mainly in the midst of sacred ritual where the storm hit. Despite the adverse weather conditions, some pilgrims tried to continue the ritual during the storm. Videos and images shocked pilgrims selling the fear of the widely shared on social media, become a symbol of resilience and devotion. Many have experienced their determination to complete the pilgrimage despite the physical landslip caused by the storm. Saudi authority, however, they had balanced religion, zeal, and security concerns. Currently, part of the Moscow and the B coordinates all reports and additional security measures have been placed in protect worshippers. Temporary shelters have been set up to protect pilgrims from the further weather disaster, and additional staff and assigned direct people to safe locations during the peak prayer time. Meteorologists are closely monitoring the weather in the region, considerate about the possible future storm in unstable conditions in the coming days. The Saudi Meteorological Authority has issued a warning about the possibility of the rain and strong winds in some parts of the country. Also, they all expected to reach in some industry in the recent storm. Nevertheless, these events have sparked new discussion about the adequacy of the Mecca infrastructure, especially in terms of the flood management and the storm preparedness. Experts note that the wild storm is well prepared to meet logistical needs of millions of visitors during the Hajj pilgrimage. Its system may be not resilient sudden and extreme weather events. In response, the Saudi government has announced plans to review and possibly improve the infrastructure by the withstand such incidents. They have now called on strange drainage system, improve early warning mechanism, and the strange physical structures surrounding case religion site. Given the increasing unpredictability of weather patterns, these discussions are likely to intensify in the coming months. For many pilgrims, the storm is perceived through the spiralless. Extreme weather events, especially during pilgrimages, have been interrupted the some sense of divine of the term test. The storm is no exception. The social media Muslims are sharing reflection to prayer of the victims, emphasizing to this resilience and devotion that is central in the Hajj experience. I was saving the skin and I keep walking. Some pilgrims who were caught in downpour were performed tawaf.